get the fruit, the pineapple, the mango, the frozen mango squares that I didn't get none of those things because I felt like it was too much. That is the energy of lack. You are shifting your currency. And when I mean by currency, yes, I'm talking about your energy. You are shifting your energy. You're literally going from the 5 of Pentacles to the 10 of Pentacles, or the 5 of Pentacles to the Ace of Pentacles. And in tarot world, what that means is 5 of Pentacles is all about, first of all, the number 5, we're talking about changes. We're talking about shifts. We're talking about being in that liminal space, right? Test. Seeing what the exam score is, the final score is, if you've passed, if you need to repeat, okay? 5 of Pentacles is feeling left out in the cold. 5 of Pentacles is feeling like you don't have enough money. It's feeling low energy, apathy, boredom, sadness, depression, just feeling like you don't have enough money to do certain things, feeling stuck, burden, constantly having financial troubles back to back, and not having any type of way of finding how you're going to come out of that hardship. Okay, 5 of Pentacles is a lot about just being in the darkness for too long. Not knowing exactly how you're going to make ends meet. Pentacles is about seeds, planting new seeds. It's about your foundation, not only financially, but also in yourself. What's next? How do I feel about myself? Am I grounded in my knowingness? Right? And then you're going to the 10 of Pentacles, and the 10 of Pentacles, 10s is new beginnings, is brand new, right? Just like the Ace of Pentacles. Ace is brand new opportunities, new contracts. You're feeling more valuable, having more to be able to do the things that you need to get done, not just finances, but maybe more resources, having more self-esteem about yourself. You've changed your value, you've increased your value. And I thought this was significant because so much people talk about, you know, the high value woman and the high value man. I remember watching a lot of those videos and they talk about, you know, you just become it. But they really talk about it from a shallow space where you get your nails done and you do your hair and, you know, you wear the most expensive perfume so people could always ask what that is. Or you mix it together and then you just never really have a real answer because you just don't remember what you mixed together. And you have the best outfits, or just always look rich, or have like that job that pays you 6 figures. And like, is that everybody's definition of success or of happiness? Because we already know when you obtain a lot of those things, if you don't have true love, if you don't have true community, true support, true family to actually enjoy that with, it really doesn't mean much, right? 5 of Pentacles is like poverty mindset, always having issues with employment. And then 10 of Pentacles is like opportunities coming left and right. You don't have any issues with unemployment. You could even be self-employed. Okay, so that's the energy you're moving into. And I came up with this little video because I realized a lot of people are needing some support. I know at some point I needed some support as well, and I still do in different aspects of myself, different aspects of my life. But I wanted to share what I've experienced based on my experiences, based on my wounds, based on what I had to heal from and what I worked through. I come on here and I share that with you guys. So writing this down, because I pulled out a card spread for just to see what's going on, and writing this down, it created a completely different definition and meaning. And it looks as if, like, you know, when you think about poverty, you think about not having enough, you think about always stressing, you're sick, or you got to pay for this, you got to pay for that, the insurance didn't cover everything. Like, there's always something, right? The phone bill is due, the water's not working. That is an energy, right? That's your energetical vibrational frequency that is radiating from within you, right? Because it could have been something that you've inherited from your parents. You've seen they were always struggling. They saw their parents always struggling. And even if they wasn't grown up by their parents, it's like a generational thing that keeps happening. This is why I really think it's like principalities against light beings and principalities against reincarnated beings or whatever, because it's almost like the same story being told over and over and over again. But that breaks with you. That ends with you, okay? You're no longer going to be vibrating at the frequency of poverty, at the frequency of not feeling good enough, at the frequency of feeling left out in the cold, abandonment, you abandoning yourself, because all of that came from what you were doing to yourself, because you weren't taught differently. It's literally in your blood. A lot of the experiences that you've manifested into your life was because it's in your blood. I just saw 055, 0505, and that talks about major changes. 5 and 5 is 10. Okay, and the way that it mirrored, it didn't really mirror itself. It was a double message. Double message means it's for self, and then it's also for environment. So your environment is even going to change because you've changed your currency. You've changed the vibration of your currency. Your current has changed. Your current is no longer vibrating low. You probably got tired of yourself. You got tired. Okay, you got tired of being tired, right? And now you're going more into. That's why you see so much videos about, oh, you've done it, or so much money is coming to you, and all these inheritances and stuff. I want you to start to know that, yes, all of those things sound great, and I want that for all of us. I want that for those who has been doing the work. I know I want that for myself, and it's already here, though. How? Because it's here in your energy. Literally, I'm gonna draw this out. All right, so let's do this as an example. It's not gonna be perfect, okay, but it's gonna get the point across. This is you. Let's say this is you. Hi. Right? Vibrating, shifting your energy, shifting. You're going from lack, right, to abundance. That's literally what you're doing. And when we see people who are in lack, you see, money issues, car. I used to draw cars like this. Okay, car issues. Okay, relationship issues. We all know about that. I had plenty of those, right? Because you're vibrating at the frequency of not having enough. There's always problem after problem after problem because of this frequency of lack, right? Let's just put that down. Triangle. Lack. You're constantly thinking about, man, why? And you're not surrounded by other people that are in abundant energy. You probably have met a few, but you have to shift the energy in order to do that, right? It's not sustainable. That's why you might meet somebody that is probably, you have a big heart. Let's say you might meet somebody that comes up that has a big heart too, but it's only temporary. If they're not doing the work, that's why it looks like it works for now, and then it doesn't work because they drop back down to where they were. Because they can't sustain the currency that you're in. They can't sustain the energy that you're in. Right? So even for you, if money comes in, let's say you're in lack and you get some money, it goes right back out. Right? You get some money, it goes right back out. You get a car somehow, right? You get to use it for a little bit. It starts to break down. There's a lot of things that you need to do. It goes right back out. You don't have it anymore. You get a new job opportunity, or you get an opportunity to be an entrepreneur. It starts to work a little bit, or if at all, and it drops back down. It doesn't sustain the energy. It's like starting a car and it sounds good, like, but it doesn't last. It drops. Something's wrong with the engine. Something's wrong with the fuel, the engine fuel, or whatever. It needs to be changed. It needs to shift. It needs to shift into a higher frequency so that it could sustain the things that it is getting, the things that you're getting, the things that you want for your life. But that's why they say, oh, the rich keep getting rich and the poor keep getting poor. That energy, that Rich Dad Poor Dad book, all these books and all these kind of like statements is just saying one simple fact. If you vibrate 369, right? If you vibrate at the frequency of chaos, you're going to get chaos. You vibrate at the frequency of peace, you're going to get peace. Right? You want to be chaotic, you're going to get that. And I'm not saying it like narcissism as being chaos beings. We are chaos beings, but that gives you power in knowing that you can still be a chaos being. Doesn't mean anything to me more than, you have the power to choose between vibrating in lack or vibrating in abundance. That's what chaos means. Chaos means you can't be controlled, because you have the centeredness within yourself to choose to vibrate in lack or abundant. Now, keep in mind, there's a liminal space. in between, before you shift from lack to abundance, where you probably are going to end up losing all these things anyway. Why? You're like, well, how? If I'm vibrating, if I'm going into abundance, how am I still going to lose these things? Because these things were created from lack. Here's an example. Let's say if I have $100 and I want to go get some fruits, vegetables, I want to get a t-shirt, I want to get some socks, I want to get like my Neutrogena foundation, you know, and whatever, right? And I end up getting everything but, let's say, my foot scrubber and my Neutrogena foundation, since that was the last thing I said, right? Or I didn't get the fruits that I wanted. I couldn't even find it, right? And let's say I did find it. This is really the point. Let's say I did find the fruit that I wanted. Let's say I did find the Neutrogena. I got everything off my list that I wanted to get. And by the time I saw these other 2-3 things, the price I thought was too much, and I didn't get these things that I wanted. I didn't get the Neutrogena. I didn't get the fruit, the pineapple, the mango, the frozen mango squares that I didn't get none of those things because I felt like it was too much. That is the energy of lack. When you're abundant, there's no such thing as too much. Now, I know you might say, well, if I don't have it, then that is too much. It's not that you don't have it. It's not that you don't have it. You just want to make sure that you're choosing from love, not out of fear. Okay? Fear is lack. You want to choose from abundance, not out of lack. You want to choose from love, not out of fear. Because when you choose from fear, it means that you don't have it. You don't have enough. So everything that you do get, it'll just fall apart. You won't have it for long. Let's say you did get the fruits and stuff and Neutrogena and all of that. When you get home, you'll open the bag and you see the fruit is spoiled. It goes out. You see the Neutrogena, I don't know, maybe in 2 days or so, it falls on the floor and it breaks. Right? This is how these things happen because you manifested these things from fear. That's why you see people whose houses are being taken away, money is being taken away, certain relationships, because they manifested those experiences from fear. From thinking there is better, or there is that option is better. Like there isn't another better option, for not trusting, not having faith that there's something better for them. Now, when you shift to abundance, right? When you shift to love, you happen to just keep getting more love, more money, more opportunities to have the car that you want, right? The healthier relationship starts to come in. And if you're mindful with this love energy, you steward this well, which is something that I love to really just get a lot more and more in my life. And I started to maybe 2 years ago, 3 years ago, like really to steward not just my skills, but steward everything. Steward your healthy relationships, steward your money, steward everything that you have, your gifts, your talent, your mindset, even things like my nursing license. I'm not using it, but I will steward that. I steward that very well. You know, I used it very well. Okay. And that's something that could never be taken away from me. Right. So when you're operating from this frequency, more of that comes in for you. So now, if something happens to money, let's say you have to spend it out, it has to go out, more of it comes back in. If some comes out, you got to pay for this bill, you got to pay for that, right? More of it, this goes out, right? More of it comes back in. That's why it seems like the rich keeps getting richer and the poor keeps getting poorer. There's other reasons also, but it all starts from energy. Right? So now let's say this liminal space right here. You could now vibrate at love. You could now vibrate at abundance, but you see nothing. You don't see cars. You don't see love. You don't see any of those things in this space. This is like the sacred pause. Okay? The sacred pause. I'm sorry. I know this is a mess, but you get it. This is like the sacred pause. This is where, you just waiting for a new opportunity to come in. Maybe you're starting to get a lot more clues. Maybe you're starting to see more people come into your life. Maybe every now and then you're starting to see something happens. Money comes in, some type of resource, some type of support comes in out of nowhere. But nothing solid yet to kind of like create this new reality of what you think, of what you know you want. But this period right here is the most important time in your life. When you have nothing, and you still have faith, you still operate from love, you still operate from abundance, you still operate from equal give and take, and you start to set boundaries, that's how these things starts to come in. So here's an example. Let's say, and even this could be from like self-esteem, setting boundaries, releasing people-pleasing tendencies, you know, all those things too is part of operating from an abundance, shifting your currency, operating from abundance to lack. I'm about to finish soon, so I don't want this to be too long. It already is, but you understand what I'm saying. So what I've realized is that, so now when something comes in, right, let's say a new opportunity comes in, somebody helps you. Let's say you wanted something, you wanted a fridge, you wanted some extra money for some paperwork for a class or for whatever, some food or whatever, and it comes in, somebody is like, hey, here you go, hey, here you go, hey, oh, I didn't know you need this, I actually have an extra one, here you go. You make sure that you receive that with a blessing. I'm so sorry, I was over here. You make sure that you receive that with a blessing, with gratitude. Hey, here you go. You needed this? Here. Oh, I didn't know you needed that. I have it. Here you go. Always be grateful in this space right here. Don't feel embarrassed. Don't feel, and it's okay if you do, because I have as well. It's kind of challenging to ask for assistance, to ask for help, but that's actually your power, the power of being vulnerable, to ask, especially the right people, not just anyone. While you're in this space is also very important, because here you want to set boundaries. You don't want to ask everybody, right? You don't want to ask everybody. And even if certain people, if they give you, I don't know how you can make sure that they're giving you from not, without having some type of like, agenda to receive something back from you. You could even state it. I would specifically state it. Thank you so much for sharing without me needing to do anything or give anything back to you. Like, you know, start to express yourself in a kind, respectful way though. Words are so powerful, but when you start to receive it with love. Don't be like, oh, I don't want it. That's you saying you still want to be in lack when it's coming to you. Because the thing about here, you work extra hard just to still be in, because you're in fear. So you're working to try to hold on to everything that you want. But when you hold on to something, you grip it too hard, it goes away, it disappears anyway. Here you're in flow. Okay? This is you holding on. This is you letting go. Okay, here you're in flow. Things come in. Yes, I'm grateful. I needed this. Oh my gosh, I'm so grateful. Thank you so much. Right? And you use it wisely and be grateful, because this is source seeing. This is love. Okay, love is God. God is love. This is love seeing if you're ready for this, if you're ready to steward more that is coming to you. Have you truly shifted into this abundance mindset? Are you still in lack, trying to overwork, people please, overgive, overdo, overextend? When you should always set boundaries and still be compassionate. You should still be loving. You should still be accepting. You should receive, equal give and take, right? This is you shifting, because the currency is shifting. So when you hear inheritance, you're about to get this inheritance, you're about to get this abundance, this money that's coming in, that's because you shifted your energy. And if you don't feel like it yet, you don't feel like this is true, you need to keep working on shifting this energy with intention. You need to keep doing your affirmations. You need to keep praying, keep jotting down, like every day. You need to listen to subliminals. You need to do what you need to do to get your energy to create this strong band. In this liminal space, it needs to be so strong that it's unbreakable, because it breaks this ability for you to go backwards, and it only can propel you forward. So when experiences come testing you to see if you're going to set boundaries, make sure you check your past, check your past self. Okay? And so there's 3 things that I found useful for you to do. Number 1, the past isn't going anywhere. That line on that side, it's not those things. You go back to that energy, it will still be the same energy. It's not going anywhere. You are, though. The past isn't going anywhere, but you are. Right? You're going to the future by being in that liminal space. The liminal space, ladies and gentlemen, is the present moment. Always being in the present moment of abundance, of releasing doubt, okay, of forgiving yourself, of being compassionate, of being kind, of using the right words, of expressing yourself, being truth, being authentic, being real, setting boundaries, being discerning, right? But being helpful as well, still being loving, but set boundaries, because you're not overgiving anymore, because it'll never be enough, right? So the past isn't going anywhere, but you are. Number 2, you want to clock it. Okay, clock the experiences that are coming up that's teaching you to set boundaries. And it could be with family, friend, lover, teacher, co-worker, boss, husband, wife, okay, dog, even with yourself. Clock it. Clock those energies, clock those experiences, clock that feeling that you get when someone is trying to make you feel some type of, or maybe it's not even them, you feel some type of way. Why do I feel some type of way? Pause before you answer, before you say yes. Oh, you want to do this? I think it'll be good. Hold on. Let me think about this. This don't feel right. No, it doesn't. Express that, and then the clarity will come around that. Or another way will come around that. Another truth will come out of that because you've expressed yourself instead of just going with the flow, saying yes when you really want to say no. Clock those times. Those are opportunities for you to shift your energy and embody your abundant self, embody the inheritance. Because what it is in your bloodline, they didn't have the knowledge that you have now. So their energy was the same. And every child that they gave birth to, they gave birth through the same blood. Your blood is going to shift because your emotions, your currency shifted. Therefore, all those electrons and everything has shifted as well. You're in a higher consciousness. So that's going to get passed to your child. It starts with you. All right. Number 3, keep practicing. Keep practicing. When you embody, that is being in the 9th dimension, I'm going to say, the 9th chakra. Okay. And the 9th chakra is a few inches higher than the 8th chakra, which is right here. But the 8th chakra, the root chakra, starts at the bottom at the thymus gland, which is behind the heart. And I know we have the 4th chakra that represents the heart, but the 8th chakra, the root chakra of the 8th chakra, if that makes sense, where you ground into higher self, then let's say, all right, so let's put it this way. 1 to 7, those 7 chakras, there's so many more, you guys. Also, I'm not just saying it's just this. 1 to 7, the basics in your body, right? But there's so many more. And then when you go from, let's say, 8 to 13, the 8 starts here, behind the heart. So you need to get to at least your heart to vibrate at a higher frequency. If you're still in lack, low, scarcity, woe is me, things are not working out, even if it looks like that on your reality, it doesn't matter, because the inside changes the outside. The inside, and you may have to be in a space where you have to pause for 1 year, 3 months. People say, oh, go a year break, disappear for a year and come back change. They're saying that for a reason, and it won't be a year for everybody. Some people will be 3 months, some people will be 6 months, a year, some people will be 5 years, some people it'll take them 10 years because they have so much to release. And I'm gonna do a video on enmeshment. And the withdrawal symptom of enmeshment is feeling guilty, feeling mean. That's something that I had to process. All right, so 3 things that you can do. The past isn't going anywhere. You are. Number 2, clock and check yourself, clock your experiences so you can grow. And number 3, make sure that you practice this every time it comes around, because with practice, the muscle memory gets stronger and better, and only then can you truly hold and steward the energy of abundance. And then everything else is going to change from the outside. Don't let these people fool you, making you think like, oh yeah, just be this and do that. You can't be it if you haven't been around it, if you haven't experienced it. You actually have to practice it. When you practice it, then things is going to start to turn around for you in your outside reality. I hope this helped.